Hey everybody, I'm Diana Leader from Crave More Life Coaching. So happy to see you here. And here is The Living, my good friend and my partner in conscious practical magic. That's kind of a mouthful, but that's it. That's what we're doing. And I think this is episode 3. And we're talking about the full moon.
The full moon.
Yeah. So welcome everybody. Really glad you're here, and let's dive in.
All right. Well, we talked about that there are so many what we're being called portal days. How we have yesterday was the 4-4 portal, which was the two numbers being the same number, so therefore double the frequency there. And that was the time, since there were stability, that was the time to figure out what was the foundation for what you wanted for your life, to figure that out. And that the two numbers added up to 8. And so that was like the infinity of things. Okay. So, and it's also the flow of your life, which we talked about. So, right. And then of course, tomorrow is the full moon. Now we plant or decide what we want usually on the new moon. But of course, yesterday we talked about what is it we want, because we were talking about the foundation or the stability of things and becoming consistent. How do we hold that? How do we keep that or hold our frequency? So with the full moon, that's usually when we're releasing whatever is in our way of having that. The reason we release on the full moon is because we have the light to see what we couldn't see before. So, and it's the silvery light, actually. Silver is believed to be the mirror of the soul. It helps us to see others, to see ourselves as others see us. What that actually means is whatever energy we're in, that's the energy we're putting out. So whenever we see something going on in our lives and we're like, why is this happening? We need to go look in a mirror. The moon is a mirror. The full moon is a time, everything we're always releasing at the time of the full moon, it's really, what energy have I gotten myself into? Because whatever is going on that I need to release, it's because I've gotten into the energy of it, or I've let something into the integrity of my energetic field, and I've gotten into the energy loop of it. It's gotten into my infinity loop here, and I'm helping to self-perpetuate it. So, like, say somebody is, they want something different for us than we do. Say maybe our mom or our ex-husband or something like that. They want something very different for us than we do. And we're aware of that. And so we're letting them into our energetic field, either with their literal conversation and their thoughts, or we're talking to other people about it. Wonder who may have done that in her lifetime. And when we do that, we're opening up our energetic field for their energy to impact us. So we've gotten into their loop about us.
So we're feeling something is really off. We're starting to investigate that, and we're recognizing that the other energy that's coming is impacting us because it's not resonant energy for us. It's not. It doesn't feel good to us. It doesn't feel good to be told what we should do and how we should do it.
Right.
And we, and that's not something that we need to be part of. We need to decide those things for ourselves. So to be really careful about, understanding what it is we need over what other people are requiring of us.
Societal programming, what other people think.
Moms.
And sometimes, and sometimes it's like, we'll get a tarot reading and they'll say somebody's working black magic on you. That could be your mom is praying for you to have something in your life that you don't want. That's a tarot reader will pick that up as somebody's working black magic on you. But of course, your mom's she's not doing a spell on you or anything, but she's putting energy into your life for what she wants for you. She's manifesting on you. Instead of manifesting her own life, which is what we're here to do. We talked about that. We're the continuum. We're to manifest our own lives. She's manifesting on your life. That's manipulation.
It is, and which is a very hard thing for a mom, and you know this too. I know this as a mom.
Right, yeah.
It's a very hard thing to recognize
Yes.
for ourselves. Although I
Yes.
think maybe secretly we always know it when it's,
Sure we do.
oh, should I have said it like quite like that,
Right.
So yes, to be to make ourselves aware of what's happening, we need to pay attention to those kind of relationships and that kind of conversation that we're having with our kids. Yeah.
Yes. Now, what will happen to me, because I feel energy, I will literally feel my right side, because our right side is when we're trying too much, or when we're letting other relationships weigh on us, when we're trying to solve things we can't solve. I will feel my right side being pulled down, or I will feel it being pulled inward because I'm bracing myself for the next blow, the next relationship blow, or the next thing. So I will literally have to, when I'm meditating, I will feel this energetically break free so I can get even again physically, because I'm always telling people I feel energy, energies. In meditations, this is literally what I feel. I will feel where I'm having to, okay, I call myself back to myself, clear me of any energies that are not my own, release any energetic entanglements I'm in, and I will feel all this happening. And while it's happening, I will be told, okay, you're letting this happen in your life, you're letting that happen, or I'll have to ask, what is this that's happening? Why am I feeling this? What's going on? And this is what it is. And a while back, I literally felt I had so many energies I was letting impact me, so many relationships I was letting impact me, that I was literally feeling during these meditations, this whole right shoulder, they were literally just cutting it off. They're in meditation. It was like, please let go. Please let go and enjoy your life. Please, all the way over to my heart space.
Please let go and enjoy your life.
Yeah,
right.
all the way to my heart space. Even they were doing. It was like, okay, just let it go already. And when we let the integrity of our energetic field get imposed upon that way, that's when our physical health suffers, because we are energetic beings, and our physical bodies are maintained by the integrity of our energetic field. Now, as I talk about my health freely, I do so for this reason, is so people will understand the direct correlation. I have chronic kidney disease. My numbers had never been as bad as they were during that time period. And I had gotten my numbers to the point where literally I could say I was normal for my age. I went to the doctor yesterday to have my labs drawn, and she's like, you do realize how bad they were last time, right? I was so sick last time, I didn't realize how bad they were, apparently. My numbers were the worst they had been the whole time. I had regressed that much. So while I was in meditation and they were literally chopping off my right side because I was letting myself be so manifested on, or so manipulated, or I was so caught up in how relationships were affecting me, the integrity of my energetic field was being so impacted. I was allowing that. Notice that. That's personal responsibility. When I looked in the mirror, what's going on in my life? I'm sick. I don't feel well. I'm hurting. When I meditate, they're literally chopping off my right side. When I look up, what does that mean? That my right arm is hurting all the time, that my right shoulder is doing this. When I'm meditating, they're having to break it loose. It means you're trying to do too much of the wrong things, that you're trying to control relationships that you can't control, that you're trying to make relationships right that you can't make right, or that people are trying to control you that have no business controlling you. That means when I look in the mirror, those are the things I have to face about myself. Those are the things I have to work on. Those are the things I have to release. That's why they were cutting it off.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So I've been working on that for months now. So my numbers are back up. They're good. But that's how sick I got. So by not doing these things, we bring physical illness on ourselves. So that is the practical, that is why we're being consciously aware of being energetic beings has a very practical part of our lives.
Absolutely.
For health.
Yes, absolutely. Because when we're not completely resonant with everything that's happening in our life, then we're not aligned. we're not aligned to ourselves. So when we're not aligned, we're not going to feel good. It's that simple, So, and the different levels of, pain or whatever we may feel, or discomfort or disease, whatever it is, we all have different ways of feeling that. The practical is feeling, holy shit, that hurts, or whatever. This isn't going away, or, compared to what you feel, which is the whole energetic package, which, sometimes I envy, and sometimes when I hear stories like that, it's like, oh, yeah, maybe not so much.
You went through like a frozen shoulder from things going on in your life,
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, for sure I did, and it's still hanging around. So, what this is for me at this particular time, and this conversation, of course, is to stop and take a look in the mirror myself, and consider what's happening in my relationships, and what is, what I may be carrying that I don't need to carry, that I can release.
What are you in an energy loop with that you need to step out of? What do you need to take personal responsibility for? Because it doesn't mean that someone else hasn't done something, but they're doing it from their level of conscious awareness. They're not resonant with you on that. Doesn't make you right, them wrong necessarily.
Yeah, it doesn't make any of it bad. It's just
It's just you're at different levels of conscious awareness on something. Yeah. They want something different than you do. Okay, light and love to you. But you have to close your energetic field to that and let them be them and you be you. And
yes, because so many of those kinds of relationships are relationships that are not going to change.
Right.
And some may, but many won't. We are in, like it or not, we are in relationship with people who are not completely resonant with us.
Right.
That don't, we're not, they don't leave us, with that state of alignment that we need. Right? And we probably don't for them either. Right. But there are relationships that, we're also not prepared to give up. What if it's an ailing parent or something? And, whatever the circumstance. We all have our reasons for doing whatever we're doing, and they're all fine because we're making those decisions. But they are relationships that we are not prepared to necessarily, cut bait and run or something. I'm not sure.
And that is something that's going to come up later in the energies that in our meditation as well. Those very things are, because yes, while we don't necessarily give those relationships up, we change what we're doing in those relationships, or we change how we are letting those relationships affect us.
How we're and that comes back to the practical piece, because we know that we can't, and that is the practical piece. We know that we can't, we can't leave this person. We can't cut them out of our life entirely. So we need to change the relationship that we have with them so that we are not affected by it. So that we feel more aligned with what we know is true for us, as opposed to what they may expect of us or what we expect of them. That happens whether we do it intentionally. Yes.
Expectation.
Yes.
We tell them how to expect us to show up, and they show us or tell us what to expect from them. We see that they're not resonant with one another, so we find where the common ground is, and that's the amount of relationship or energetic bandwidth that we share with one another. And we keep it at that, because that's all that's going to feel good to either one of us. And we don't impose on each other anything more than that.
Right.
So if it means that you can be with each other once a month for 2 hours, okay. If it means you can see each other at Christmas time, okay. If it means you can talk to each other once a week on the phone, okay.
Or you avoid politics, or you you don't tell them the personal details of your life, or whatever it is. We all know how to do that. But all that stuff is coming from inside, and that's the stuff that we need to align to. So all those choices, we're not going to find, when we look inside, we're not going to say dump that person because they're just being such an asshat with you. Yeah. We're not going to find that. We're going to find a place that says, that's not resonant with you, sweetie. So, let's find something else that is resonant for you, that is aligned with you, that you can use to manage that relationship if until or whenever you are prepared or it ends naturally?
Because we are manifesting on them if we stay in their energetic field and we are not resonant with them. They are manifesting on us if they stay in our energetic field and are not resonant with us, instead of us each manifesting our own lives. We are
either way is not cool.
Right. And so what we're doing when we do that is we're taking up energetic bandwidth in each other's lives, that true resonant energies for us, energies that would make our lives, are you ready for this, flow from this is my best and highest good. This is my conscious energy that knows my best and highest good, and it's going to flow down through here and physically express itself. And I'm going to have my as above, so below. That's the energetic bandwidth for this. Oh, wait a second. I can't do that because I got all this non-resonant stuff instead. And we're keeping ourselves and them from doing it.
Yeah. So you're not doing one of these, right? You're doing this. That's when the brain goes. That's when the mindset is really sucky. That's, that's right. when we're triggered really easily. That's when we're judging people, when it just keeps
when we're in the mind. Around. Yeah. It's when we're in the mind, which is societal programming, the aspects of us. And I don't mean that we're not supposed to think. Certainly we're supposed to think, the things we've learned, we're supposed to use, but we're not supposed to get locked into the mind, because the consciousness that we are is where all the knowledge is. It is what's conceiving what we are coming here to express. And that is experiencing, being, and feeling. So it is what we can conceive of, and conceptualization is a heart space thing, which, by the way, if your left side is hurting, your left arm, does your heart feel full and nourished? Is your heart broken? Are you experiencing grief that's unprocessed? Are you in alignment with your heart's desires? Because our left side is our allowing side. This is our doing side. Are you trying to do what can't be done? Are you trying to do on others? Are others trying to do on you? What about over here? Are your heart's desires being done? Are you allowing? Are you allowing? Have you cleared the energy channel? Is your chakra system activated and healthy so that you're allowing? Are you looking in the mirror during the full moon, during the silvery light? Are you looking in the mirror and saying, what do I need to fix so there's flow, so this channel of energy can be allowed to express itself through me? What am I allowing? Or are you like this, like I am, and I have to say, okay, let's meditate this out. What is happening here? Let's, and what do I need to? And I will literally feel it just lift up off me. And sometimes I'll literally feel rods pulled up out of my heart space. I'll feel pins pulled out of my shoulder where people are meditating on me and they want me to stay right where I'm at until they're ready for me. And it's like, no, I don't wait here. My life doesn't stand still while other people decide that they're ready for me or whatever. But I feel these things energetically. And that's so I know what to tell other people, and that's okay. But that's what the full moon is about, is us looking in the mirror in the silvery light for clarity, for focus. It's the true color of purity. It's about the integrity of who we are.
I love that word. I love that word.
What? Right. Then when this Mercury retrograde comes around, okay, all these things that we decide that we have to let go of, we're not necessarily going to let go of them, because what you were talking about, some of them are relationships. Some of them are things that we manifested, that we put a lot of energy into manifesting. And we manifested on people to get, because we've all been raised in 3D energetic behavioral styles. That's how we've all lived. And it's like, I don't want to look in the mirror at that. But I looked in the mirror at it, and I've decided to up level myself to this different standard. But that's not comfortable, because now it means letting go of some things I'm used to doing, or that other people are used to me doing. This isn't comfortable to me. I'm having to admit some stuff about myself I don't want to. So the retrograde is going to be about us looking at ourselves honestly and saying these things. And then the solar eclipse, I said that that's when we let go of big things. That's when we say, okay, that job that I was in for 20 years that I have hated every minute of, or I've hated for the last 15 or the last 5 or the last 1. That's because when I look in the mirror and I tell myself the truth and I say, it's that boss, it's those people I work with, it's da-da-da. No, not really. I'm feeding into that loop. But really the problem is my heart's desire is I'm being guided to do something else and I'm not listening to the part of me up here, my consciousness, my light being, all that is I'm here to really express, which is telling me it's time to do something different. This is what's going to light you up. This is our fullest, this is our highest timeline. But I'm fighting it tooth and nail because, well, society says I should, or my programming says I should, or it doesn't feel right.
Yeah. And you know what? All those things create feelings in us. And all those things, when we say things like, yeah, I'm in a really bad job, like I've never liked it or whatever, I don't like it. We feel that in our body. Our body knows what's happening for us, that we're not aligned in that way. So it's time to make those shifts right then, and to pay attention. We say it so often, I think, in the human world about, oh yeah, I've got a yucky job, or yeah, I don't like that, or I don't like that, or I don't like that person or their behavior or whatever it is. But it becomes more of a war story. Like how bad is your life today? Like,
and do you know what else we're doing? Do you know what else we're doing? So maybe it did start out absolutely true. That boss is an absolute jerk and treats you badly. It started out true. But now, how many times have you told that? So instead of taking action and getting out of it, you just keep telling it. So you put yourself in the energy of, my boss is a jerk, my boss is a jerk, my boss is a jerk. What have you attracted in now every day? My boss is a jerk, my boss is a jerk, my boss is a jerk. So even if your boss went to counseling and isn't a jerk to anybody else anymore, guess what? My boss is a jerk, my boss is a jerk. It's still going to be to you, because you have the self-perpetuating infinity loop now that you're creating. Because instead of moving on, like your energy being that you are, your best and highest timeline, our expression of self, where we need to be going is someplace else. But for whatever reason, you let the other aspects of you or societal programming or whatever talk you out of it. And whenever we know we've done this by what feels good and what doesn't, when we shut down going by what feels good, for what we're supposed to do, we're out of our integrity of self.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how many times did we throw around that word, that phrase over the past 2 years? Are you operating in integrity of self? This is integrity of self.
Yeah.
Are you following your heart?
Yes, exactly. And something that you and I just talked about before we got on live is that, when we need to be in integrity with ourselves, absolutely, but we need to always be in integrity. We need to be in a position where we understand that what's happening, but also where we understand that we have choices and that we can make choices. We can leave that job. It doesn't mean you're going to want to find another one first. Well, find another one first. But, sure. There are ways to manage all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Nobody is ever really, truly stuck. So, maintain your integrity. Know that, okay, my heart is telling me I need to go do such and such. Go do such and such. We always have to be in integrity with our heart.
What that is about is trusting yourself. Because this energetic being is you. And if the energetic hit that you got intuitively was, you need to do something differently, then you need to do something differently. Trust that. The examples that we were talking about earlier, these are real examples that people are facing right now. Let's say you have a job, it's your dream job. You know that it's the job that you're supposed to be in. Your intuition has shown you, you know it, you feel it, you know it. You apply for that job, you do all the stuff that you're guided to do. You go in, and the energy of that HR person, you feel it when you leave. There was something off. They're not going to hire you. You don't get hired for that job. Your intuition knows, I was supposed to get that job. But that person wasn't listening to their intuition. It was a non-resonant energy. They were in 3D behavioral style. They were not responding to 5D energetic behavior. They were stuck in denser energy. Okay, you got the where we're at right now with we're in where the world is stuck in 3D and 5D going on at the same time. Mm-hmm. So you got robbed, if you will. That's the way you're going to feel of that dream job. Okay, the light being that you are knows that. So you hold frequency, you be you, and the light being that you are, because you're holding frequency, your energy, the right job is going to be attracted in. Now, when that job comes in, this is your gift. It's not really a gift. It's really just the energetic match. Okay. But in tarot world, here's your pinnacle. Here's your gift, so it's going to come in. What happens then is, because you're then going to be up leveled energetically. You're going to be excited. Okay, this job's come in. I've told them this is what to expect of me. They've said this, you can expect this of us. It's a true unconditional love relationship, the way it's supposed to be. This is great. Invariably, that dream job, you're going to get offered that dream job. That HR person's going to leave, or they're going to have a spiritual awakening. Something's going to happen. This is where your integrity comes in. And this is where trusting yourself comes in. This is where not letting your aspects take back over, or societal programming. Societal programming will be, well, that was your job. You were supposed to get it. Yeah, I know you got that job, but that was your job. So the ego will kick in. They've offered us that job. They see our worth now. We're supposed to go take that job. The way you know if that's the job you're supposed to take, trust how you feel. If this job is still in alignment with you, if this job that you got as the gift that came because that job didn't, if this job is still in alignment with you, your integrity of self is to stay with the job that's in alignment with you. This job that's being offered to you, it's only being offered because they felt the energetic tug of, they lost. They got outdone. This company got what they should have gotten, and they're feeling the pull of it. They don't really want you. And if you break the integrity of that bond, that energetic bond with something that's truly in flow with you, you're breaking the integrity of your own frequency. Mm. But if this job all of a sudden falls out of frequency with you, they come in and they say, you know what? We want to keep you, but they've just cut our numbers. We're going to have to let you go. We don't have the money to pay you. Or, we know we told you the job was going to be this, but something's happened. It's going to have to change. And it's like, that's not any of the stuff you told me. That's the universe showing you, guess what? That is your job. Go. It's going to feel okay to go. Right. You don't have to get in your head. You don't have to agonize. You don't have to, oh my God, what do I do? Do I go? Do I stay? Am I a good person? You don't have to do any of that. You're going to know. It's going to feel right. No, I stay here. They're doing everything they said they would. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to agonize over it. I don't have to wonder, do those people really want me, or are they just offering me the job because they realize they messed up?
Right.
Your feeler knows.
Your feeler knows.
Your feeler knows.
Feeler always knows.
And so that's how we understand, that's integrity of self. Mm-hmm. So that's how we judge all of this, is you go look in the mirror and you're like, okay, why do I want to go to that other job? Am I in alignment where I'm at? Is it all about my ego? Is it because, wow, I wanted that job and they're offering it to me? Do I really trust those people? Do I really feel like they want me, or do I feel like they want me because they just don't have me? What's my feeling on it? What's my intuition on it? You go with that.
Yes, absolutely. Or, something like, well, yes, I really do want that job, and I did want that job. And they're going to offer me more money than the one that I have.
They'll do that too. Sure.
But yeah, as a little tug. But yeah, it always comes back to what are you being integrity with? What is the alignment that you are connecting with? Maybe,
Absolutely.
is the job worth, are you trading apples and apples?
And oranges. Yeah.
Yeah, or is it different?
Because
are
on
you
4-4, because on 4-4, your foundation that you were going to now have a life where money wasn't the only thing that mattered to you, but what kind of company you worked for, what the values of the company were, how much free time you were going to have, how you were going to be treated, what kind of people you were dealing with.
Yeah, way important.
Yeah. If all that's what mattered to you, and you found out, wow, this company totally aligns. And now I know from what I went through with the interview process with those people, they're going to give me more money, but they weren't in alignment with me at all. Mm-hmm. The more money they just offered you, and the fact that it was the job you wanted and you got robbed of, that doesn't make it worth going to.
No.
So, but they entice you with that it's more money. Societal programming will tell you, well, you got to take that one. It's the job you wanted. They're offering it to you. It's more money. And probably somebody in your life is going to say, what do you mean you're turning down 20,000 more a year? Well, what are you talking about? Because they don't believe in dumping stuff over so-and-so or whatever your reason was, No, that's my frequency. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And I wanted to give this example because there's so many twin flames listening. So many twin flames are in their head or soulmate people. What do I do? My twin's not in alignment with me. I don't want to be alone, but my twin's not in alignment. Open your heart up. Work on yourself. You're supposed to be happy. Your as above, so below experience is you became embodied to experience life. Okay? That doesn't mean go out and have every experience there is just to experience life. That's not what that means. It means your highest and best timeline. Obviously, your twin is your highest and best timeline, but only if they're resonant with you. If they're not resonant with you, you hold frequency. You be you. If the universe, if your energy brings in somebody who's resonant with you, trust that. If it feels good, go with it.
Enjoy it.
Right. Enjoy it. If your twin comes into frequency, that is your highest timeline. There will be something that comes along that causes the person you're with to come out of frequency. They'll get a job across the world, and you will have told them up front, what you can expect of me is I will never leave from here because I love my job, I love my home, my family's here, yada, yada, yada. And so when they come to you and say, I've been offered this job, it's my dream job, I told you that if this happened, no matter how much I love you, I'm going. Well, y'all expected this of one another. And so they're going to go and you're going to stay. And guess what? The energetic bandwidth just opened up for that twin that came to alignment with you to come. You don't have to get in your head about it. Oh my God, what if my twin gets into frequency with me? There's not going to be any space for them. But if that space doesn't open up, that's because that twin's not really in alignment with you anyway. They just see somebody else has got my person. I don't like that. And they're just coming to mess with your life, to mess it up. And you're going to be out of your integrity because you didn't want that. You don't want a person to be a placeholder for the twin. That's not your highest timeline. No. That's not integrity.
No.
So twin flames, don't worry about that. You're supposed to feel good about your life. You're supposed to be enjoying your life. It doesn't mean go out and just jump into any relationship. That means hold your frequency and be in relationships that are in alignment with you.
Feel good. Allow yourself to enjoy life. Yeah.
Right. And if your twin misses the boat, they miss the boat. If that may be what happens. It may be that you hold alignment and they do come in and you are with somebody that is in perfect alignment with you and that truly you're in frequency. they're in frequency and the timing is just off. But if you're in frequency with something, you don't step out of frequency with something that you're in frequency with to go to something else, because then you're throwing things, you're throwing your own integrity to the wind. You don't do that, because when you do that, then you're like, okay, everything that is in frequency with me, I just put out the energy that doesn't mean anything. So that those contracts you have that have lived up and honored themselves with you, they don't mean anything anymore. They don't have to honor their agreement with you because you're in frequency with this person and you didn't honor that. Yeah. It's, so we have, our integrity matters.
Yeah, it does matter.
So, right. But don't fear that, because remember, this is you. This is not some disembodied spirit that is like pulling strings with you. This is you, and you want you to have the best, highest good, most beautiful experience possible, as above, so below. So you are not robbing you of anything by holding frequency, but you are definitely creating for yourself the loops that you don't want to be in when you step out of integrity. And so that's what all these energies are about. When the new moon comes and you have let go of whatever you needed to let go of during this solar eclipse, you've seen what you've been into, you've looked back at your past behaviors and during the retrograde, and you've decided with the 4-4 what foundation you wanted, and we use this full moon to look at all that, because that's what we're going to do. Whenever you get into May, to the change of all of this, you're going to understand all of this about yourself, and you're going to be able to hold frequency and hold integrity and hold these changes. And you're going to say, how do I know what changes to hold? How do I know if this is right or not? Because you're going to go by your feet. And you're going to trust yourself.
Yep. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. It's going to feel good.
Yes.
And you're going to trust yourself that if it feels good, it's the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Agreed.
So I know you drew some cards for us.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so where should we start? Let's try with, okay, this is from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle deck. And we have Dynamic.
Oh, wow. So the pyramid is for change. Pyramid always stands for change. Wow, look at those spokes and those wheels. I mean, that's like the spokes and wheels, that's like movement. We're moving. We're always moving. Energy is always moving. That is amazing. I love it. And dynamic, that's movement. So I love it. It's and gorgeous. 5, it adds up to 5. 2 and 3 is 5. So it's change. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great. I love that one.
2 is partnership. 3 is a bigger partnership. 2 is like a couple. 3 is like a group of people working together. So it's the fact that everything is relative. We're never working alone. Yeah. And that change is always, it involves other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's never about us. The change is about our relationship with everything.
Yeah, and we are in relationship with everything in the world. Okay, so this card says, and I have to get over here so I can actually see it under the light, the frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. Hello.
Hello. There we go. And we're going to do that in our meditation. We're going to learn that what's going to bring me great joy, and it's okay to have a life of grace and ease and to live a life of joy. Matter of fact, that's what we're freaking here for. We are energy that embodied to have a life of joy, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
this one is from the Palladian Oracle deck.
I love the Palladians.
I love them too, and it's creativity.
Oh my God, are those red birds?
Yes.
Okay, that's Archangel Energy, right?
Oh, cool.
And there's 2 of them. There's a rainbow.
I've got a little,
all the colors of healing. Wow. And all that green, of course, is the heart chakra. all the blue is the throat chakra, and that oh my God, look at the turquoise in between. That's the high heart chakra, which bridges. Oh my gosh, talk about it's creativity. Oh wow. And the number 6 is like that is it's not completion, but it's fulfillment of self. It's like self-fulfillment. So wow.
Self-fulfillment, self-honor. Yep. Cool. Okay. So this is telling us back in our home constellation of the Pleiades, we use the building blocks of creativity for all that we do in our communities. From housing to technology is how we engage socially amongst each other. It is creativity that keeps us spontaneous, allowing for our moment to be fresh, joyful, and alive to the infinite field of potent possibility that is the now. The freshness of creativity allows for one to stay youthful, remember their innocence, and stay centered in their radiant heart, which keeps them open to all fields of multidimensionality. It is then our sincere request that when this card arrives, it is serving as notice for you to infuse more creativity and freshness into your life. Have you been falling into patterns of stagnation, repetition, and predictability? Perhaps a situation is playing out which has a predictable reaction by yourself in thoughts and emotions. Whatever it is, we the Pleiadian guides are inviting you to open into the field of creativity to shake up your life. It is time to break free from the schedules of the mundane and do something quite off the rails today. This shifting of the norm breaks down dormant patterns in the human psyche and opens your brain cells to a new level of operating.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah, it's like, go deep, man. Go deep with the creativity.
But the creativity chakra, it has to do with the navel chakra, which is also inside the sacral chakra. Okay, the sacral chakra is our manifesting chakra. Is also where our sexual energy is at. We've talked about that a lot, which is why you don't have sex with just anybody, because you're commingling your manifesting energy, and you want to do that with resonant energies. You want it to be somebody that you're not going to be manifesting your life with non-resonant energy. Mm-hmm. So the reason twin flame or soulmate energy is so important, it's the same thing why you want to work with people that's resonant energy. Like you and I are resonant energy. We work well together because we're so passionate about things and we're so creative together. That is why twin flame couples or soulmate couples they're your power couples. Okay, they're your power couples. It's because they light each other up in a way that their creativity, their sexuality, everything is wrapped up together. They are so into each other that they don't have to worry about, their lives aren't divided up. It's not compartmentalized. They're not fragmented into, well, I've got my sex life and my sex partner and my intimate life and my emotional life and my work life. And no, because it's all tied in together. Because so many creative people, if they have trouble with fidelity, or infidelity, because the creativity and the sexuality get all confused. Well, that's because those energies are so much the same. That is why so many twin flame and soulmate relationships are power couple or creative dynamic duos, is because those energies are so related. There's no mystery there to that. So that's really important for the twin flame world to understand. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're artists of some kind. They can be, they can have all kinds of companies together. They could be, Fortune 500 powerhouse kind of couple, or maybe they don't work together at all, but they feed off of each other. They have their own energy, but they communicate so well together that they keep the integrity of their sexual lives, because they have such respect for each other, because they support each other so well. So there's so much to why these couples are power couples. It's because the creativity and the sexual energy and the energy that expands consciousness, it's all there together. And so, those energies are meant to all be together. They're there for a reason. And those things, many of the twin flame world or soulmate people, it's like the reason they're not together is because they're like, I don't want to settle down with that one person. And they don't realize that that one person is their expansion of consciousness in every way. It is their ultimate expansion of consciousness. It is how they have their highest timeline in every way. It is their health, wealth, abundance, and prosperity all in one, because it is where their abundance of energy expansion is going to be. That's where they're going to light up in every way. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't necessarily mean they will work together, but literally, but they will work together as a couple. Whether it's literally they work together or they just work together as a couple. And that's the same thing with friendships that are meant to be. Our friendship lights up like that. No, it's not sexual, obviously, but it lights up like that because it has that intensity of passion about it. Mm-hmm. What we do, we have that intensity of passion about it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, those things come into, how does that feel? If you are somebody who ignores feeling and you go only by the rational, you're going to miss all of that.
You're going to miss it, yeah. And you know what? I want to just comment that intensity of passion. Mm-hmm. We can take that, like, outside of the sexual stuff, outside of the partnership stuff. When we're talking about being able to connect with who we are and being in integrity with who we are, with self-honoring ourselves all the time, we can start to bring in elements of that kind of passion into what we're getting, like what we're hearing, you know. So it's not, you know, it's not like, you know, you kind of sit back and you listen to your heart and says, you know, well, you know, why don't you go for a walk? Okay, I feel like going for a walk. I think I'll go for a walk. Well, you know what? While you're on that walk, make it a passionate walk. Like, you know, like up your game a little bit, smile more, you know, make sure that your frequency is raised and
it's a conscious choice.
It's a conscious choice, and it's a creative outlet, you know, because how many people would say, oh, it's just a walk, I'll do it later, oh, missed it, or whatever it is, you know. But think about whatever it is that we are being called to do and apply that passion to that, whatever it is.
You keep getting called back to a friendship with someone or a relationship with someone. You get there, but you don't do anything with it. You resist it. Mm-hmm. That person keeps trying. You know, they keep opening the door for a conversation or to do a project together or whatever. And you're like, yeah, I was drawn back to them, but I'm going to resist it. I'm going to leave. But what are you doing? But you're being drawn back, yet you are closing the door on that. Why are you doing that? That's like, okay, you've been called out to go on this walk. You go on the walk, but you don't look around at what's all around you. Mm-hmm. You're showing up, but you're not showing up. You know, that's like going to Disney World, but having your nose in your phone the whole time you're there. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's showing up, but not showing up.
Mm-hmm. And you know, and that's a lot of times that's what we do just when we are called to pay attention to ourselves and to make choices based on what we know about ourselves. You know, it's like, can I do that? Can I really pick me? No, I don't think so. Not today. You know, well, hell yeah, you can.
Show up for yourself. That's integrity. That's integrity. Yeah. Show up for yourself. And that is what this retrograde is. You're going to look back at your life and it's going to be, when did I show up for myself? And when did I let myself down? And then that solar eclipse is going to be, what decision do I have to make here that's going to be me showing up for myself? And again,
and, you know, and both those things are really great exercises. Absolutely.
We don't have to have these energies to do it. We don't have to wait for those dates to do it. Those energies help. But for crying out loud, this is stuff that we should be doing every day. When we feel it, we feel it.
Oh,
do it.
Yes, all the time. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay. That's full integrity. Okay, so we have one more card from the Gaia Oracle deck, and it is healing.
Healing.
My favorite topic.
Wow.
Isn't that a gorgeous card?
That is, I mean, you've got your tree that you go out to all the time.
Yes,
so this is like your baby here, but
it kind of is, yeah.
There's the heart, which has the information. It's what gets the transmission or the translation of what is trying to be expressed through us. And you go to your tree and get that all the time.
I do. I go to the woods. I go for walk in the woods, and I talk to my tree. Yeah, even have my grandkids talking to my tree.
Oh, that's great.
It's great. I love it. Okay, so this guidebook says the lady featured on this card has journeyed far and wide, searching for happiness which she has failed to find. Confused and tired, she surrenders and retreats to her inner sanctuary, a space of light inside her heart where she discovers a deep sense of peace. She rediscovers and reconnects to her true nature by letting go of all that is superficial in her life. She reflects on her past and is now able to see what is true and what is false, what is real and what is illusion. In the stillness of her heart, she hears a whisper, a message of love. Her heart is grateful for her return. Over the past months, you have inadvertently steered off course, gradually losing sight of what is truly important and without realizing it, losing touch with the real you. It is time for you to reconnect and rediscover your true essence and your inner child. Stop searching externally, look within, and you will rediscover the magic.
Wow. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So if you'd like to light a candle, now's the time to do so while we still have our eyes open. And I'm learning to do that. I've got that down. We light our candles with our eyes open. And if you have crystals you want to gather around you, now's the time to do so. I always have amethyst, so I've got that with me. And we're going to place ourselves within a pyramid. If you want to call in any support, such as angels, archangels, ancestors, any other beings of the light, whatever your custom is, do so now. We ask for white light to come in, blue light, and violet light. White light contains all the colors, but we want extra blue light, which is unconditional love, and violet light, which transmutes all that doesn't hurt us. We just breathe it in and out. Take normal breaths, but you can hold it up like in your head space, like clearing out any energies that don't serve. Exhaling. Breathing in again. Breaking up any dense energies. Calling down another pyramid to come in around us. Pyramids enhance power of the energies that we're using, the shape of it does. They're also for change. We ask that they be filled with white light, blue light, and violet flame. We feel ourselves connecting higher and higher, going towards source energy as we move more and more the denseness. We become higher and higher vibrational and frequency. Breathing in white light, letting the blue light come in, letting the violet light remove all that does not serve us. Feel the dense energies leaving, transmuted, dissolving. You may feel them just floating away. You may feel yourself ascending, maybe your body descend. If not, that's okay. Just know that it's all happening. Dense energies are leaving, vibrations going up. Allow the energies that do not serve you to just go. As one more pyramid comes down, more white light, more blue light, more violet light, and pink transcendent love is all around you. helping you transcend all aspects of self, all societal programming, all that would keep you from being all that you are here to be. Seeing yourselves clearly as you're meant to be, as above, so below. You feel yourself as you call yourself back to yourself across all time, space, universes, lifetimes, dimensions, and incarnations, past, present, and future. Feel your energy coming back from the light energies in the pyramid with you are bringing this energy up to the highest vibrational frequency of unconditional love. So you can use it to go forward on your timeline in reality, not illusion, it's illusion. And your chakra system, opening it up as pure source energy, shines into it, looking at every part, removing any energetic entanglements or encumberments. Across all time, space, universes, lifetimes, and dimensions. Anything that is keeping you from being on your best and highest good timeline. Anything that is keeping your chakra system from being aligned and attuned and calibrated for your best and highest timeline. Anything that is keeping your chakra system from being fully activated so that you can be operating in the fullness of your energetic integrity or health. Just allow source light, the white light, every color, to work on the specific chakra that it is meant to cleanse, purify, calibrate. Every chakra is being attended to now. Every chakra being brought into calibration. Our chakra system is being brought into perfect alignment. The natures of energy being aligned as well. Anything not serving us, leaving, being dissolved, being transmuted. Grace and ease. Chakra system staying open wide. The energy column fully fortified and supported, open wide. So this all happens quickly and easily with grace and ease. No fragmentation of any kind, no distortions of any kind, no multidimensional issues of any kind. Everything perfect alignment. Going all the way back to pure source energies. First arrival on the scene if need be. You may see yourself go all the way back to darkness. That may happen. You may see yourself all the way in darkness. And then suddenly there may be light. So that will be in the beginning. There will be source taking all the way back, purifying your chakra system all the way to in the beginning. So don't be alarmed if that happens. Any entanglements of any kind, whether they be words, actions, thoughts, deeds, written, spoken, whether we agreed to them, didn't agree to them, were aware of them, unaware of them, whether we were a part of them, not a part of them, whether it's something acted upon us or we've put upon others, they have no choice but be unbound, loosened, disentangled, pure source energy, the highest power in the universe. We are free, we are free, we are free. When we allow pure source energy come down through our energy column, activating our entire chakra system for our best and highest timeline in reality, without illusion or delusion. Nothing can resist it. There is no power that can resist it. No hex, spell, voodoo, any of those things. chakra system staying open, integrity of our energy column staying wide, as we're protected within the pyramid. So our chakra system can stay wide open, be purified. The white light comes down now, all the way down to Gaia, coming down through our energy column, through all of our chakras, through our Earth Star chakra to our Chiron wound healing, grounding us with Mother Earth, and then Mother Earth all the way to our core, the crystalline grid, sending pure, clean energy back up to source energy, creating a positive energy loop all the way through us. As above, so below. Energy now circulating, positive energy through us, pure source energy communicating with us through our heart space. We tap on our high heart chakra and activate it. Make sure we're getting the absolute purest translation of pure source energy. Tap on our collarbones. Releasing all that does not serve. We have the turquoise light coming in. We surround ourselves now in the pink transcendent love energy bubble. As all of our chakras are balanced, centered, rotated, our chakra system fully activated, our two natures of energy aligned. We're in an energy bubble of pink transcendent love. All energy that does not serve us has been removed. We feel ourselves being lifted up in our pink transcendent bubble of pink transcendent love. Going up, up, and up, being taken to the most beautiful, tranquil place where we have the most beautiful view of the full moon. Here we can see everything. We see the earth below. We see out into the cosmos. But most importantly, we see the light, silvery light of the full moon. You feel relaxed and at ease. You don't feel any pressures. Feel our energy pure and clean and clear. It's a wonderful, peaceful experience. So from this vantage point, as we look down, we can breathe so freely. We are free, connected to source, pure source energy going all the way through us. Feel it expressing itself as above, so below. Nothing blocking it. Our chakra system working perfectly. Our hearts getting exactly what it is we need to know. And we feel as above, so below. We feel the joy, happiness, We know we are meant to have beautiful lives. Doesn't matter what our lives really are right now. We don't feel any of that. All we feel is the white light coming down through all of us, through our entire chakra system. The pink light around us, the peace we feel, the expansiveness we feel, safety we feel. Feel our heart spaces opening wider and wider. Feel ourselves becoming like a white light within this pink ball of energy. Complete circle of white light. Bright and brilliant ourselves. Feeling the joy, fullness of all that we're meant to be. Shining so brightly. Put our hands on our heart. We feel the joy, we feel the love, we feel the happiness, and we trust it. We know this is truth. This is our integrity of self. This is who we're really meant to be. Whatever it is, we don't have to know the details. We know this is what it feels like. And it is wonderful. We feel our pink bubble going higher and higher. There's no fear, there's no alarm. We just feel amazing, free, and confident. This is who we're meant to be. This is us. We feel our high heart chakra now opening wider and wider and wider. All that we are becomes more and more expansive. Our entire chakra system now opening up. We become fully expansive, energetic beings, allowing all the light come down through us, freely expressing itself. Our full, highest, best timeline. We feel the brightness of it. Golden whiteness of it. Feel how our energy is getting lighter and lighter and ascending higher and higher. How good it all feels. We understand this is why we're here. We feel any denseness that's preventing it. We feel it going away, floating away. We go up, up and up. Be all that we can be. We feel our entire chakra system now open so very wide, reinforced. White light, gold light, coming down through it, surrounded by pink light, green light of prosperity, abundance, health, and wealth, yellow light of our solar plexus, the orange light of our sacral chakra, peach light of our navel, red light of our root chakra. Feel our entire chakra system in perfect alignment, And as we feel everything coming together, we see the silvery moon starting to come back into view. And whether here, whether your spirit guides or source come and talk to you, whether you just see it or you just feel it and know, in that silvery moon, you see yourself. And whatever it is you need to know for this highest and best timeline, your answers are there. You look in this mirror and you feel the truth. You know it. Not because you're thinking about it, but because it's being revealed to you, it's being expressed through you, and you trust that. Trust your intuition. Trust yourself. You know what it is you need to stabilize, or what foundation you want, what it is that you're trying to build, what it is you want your life to be, what it is meant to be, what source energy is trying to express through you, what it is you want. You feel it, you know. You know. Maybe you've always known. And in the mirror, you see yourself clearly. You know what it is that you need to turn loose of or do differently so you're in frequency. And you don't feel any guilt or shame. You understand that there's been illusions and delusions, and now you're just seeking what's real. Doesn't matter that you've been off course or have lost sight of anything that's been truly important. All that matters is now you're rediscovering your true essence. You're not going to search externally any longer, but you're looking within, and you're using the mirror to do so. You know the answers are not without. No matter what's going on without, you can always find the answers by looking within, by looking at self, by looking in the mirror, by connecting to self and seeing your true nature. And without feeling any shame, blame, traumas, dramas, woulda, coulda, shouldas, you just start letting it all go. Trusting yourself with what you feel, what you're guided to change. As over the next few weeks, you're guided on this retrograde mission with Mercury to look back at things that you've done, emotional things, emotional choices, emotional decisions. When was I in my integrity? When did I serve myself? When did I let myself down? Again, no shame, no blame. Just taking an honest look in the mirror, feeling what you feel right now. You may not know exactly where you're headed, but you feel it and you trust it. We don't like the retrograde with any judgment on self. We're just looking for information so we know how to do things differently. Not with judgment, not to blame others. You don't want to waste energy in that way. Just looking for, what do I need to do differently? What do I need to do the same? Then the eclipse energy will come and give us the strength, that extra oomph, to make those big choices, so that this foundation that we've started, so that this huge, beautiful feeling that we have inside, this life that is going to flow through us as above, so below. This dynamic, creative life is always flowing through us, can be expressed. What changes are we going to make? What big changes? Or what big steps are we going to take? We'll be ready for that eclipse energy. And the new moon, the seeds that we're going to plant. So in the next month, change. We're ready to be consistent, to hold frequency, so that that foundation that we have laid, we're building upon it. And the way we continue to do so is we don't wait for a full moon or an eclipse or a retrograde. But whenever something doesn't feel right, we go to the mirror, we go to the silver light. It will help us to see ourselves instead of looking at others. It will help us see ourselves clearly. It gives us the strength of clarity. It gives us focus. It helps us with purity so that we stay in our integrity. Not so we can judge ourselves. That's a waste of energy. So we can call ourselves back to ourselves across all time, space, universes, lifetimes, and dimensions, past, present, and future, and allow pure source energy, allow ourselves to guide us. Trust our feelings and go forward, using all of our energy, all of us, all that we are, to go forward on our best and highest good timeline. As above, so below. It's the light of this full moon. Start this practice. Whenever something doesn't feel right, or we want to come back to this feeling of what does it feel like to have as above, so below. Go to the light, silver light of the mirror. Look at self. Go within and trust what you find there. So it is. And so it is, and so it shall be. Namaste.
Wow.
Wow. That was dramatic. Thank you. So I think, oh, thank you. I think they're really making the point that integrity of self, source energy is making the point that integrity of self is the integrity of that one whole light being that is us. Integrity of self is realizing that we are one whole light being. I mean, I've been saying it now for what, at least over a year. I've been holding up the selenite and saying we're one whole complete light being. But the integrity of self is trusting that we are that one whole being, and that one whole being that is us. We can trust that. And if we stay in frequency, we're never going to want something bad for ourselves. Mm. And if we will trust that, and just be in that energy. We're going to be putting out good energy. We're going to be putting out things we want. We're never going to want bad back. So we're going to be putting out good. So if we just go by what feels good.
Mm-hmm. It sounds really...
We're going to be in a good place. We're going to be in a good place.
Yeah, we are. I believe that. And it sounds so incredibly simple, but it is. And it should be. This is our life. It's not meant to be complicated.
It's not meant to be. I mean, it's conscious energy expressing itself through tactility, and it's an energetic pipeline that we just need to truly clear the way for the translation of the energy us into the physical us. There's nothing for us to do but get out of our own way for the integrity of the energetic us to be expressed through the physical us. The integrity of self is to let the integrity of the energetic self be expressed through the physical self. And we've been in our own way. We've been in our own way because we were conditioned to, because we didn't know any better. And so there's no blaming to be done here. And wherever somebody is at with that, that's where they're at with it. So there's no judging to be done of other people. But at the same time, there's this excitement. There's you want everybody to get here, to understand what we're saying. And not that we're there perfectly there ourselves, but every day this unfolds a little more, and every day it's more and more beautiful, and it's more and more evident in our lives. It's and that doesn't mean that the sky's raining money because I know I'm supposed to be abundant. That's not what it means at all. It's not magical thinking.
Mm-mm.
It's not magical thinking.
No, it's being true to yourself.
Yeah.
Being whoever that is. Yeah. Yeah. It's powerful. It is beautiful. Yeah. And you're right. It does change from level to level. I've certainly experienced that.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I love it.
Yeah. I know you've been called to differentiate out the different levels. When we look back at just where we started talking, the level we were at then, I don't even know how to go back and do that, to be perfectly honest.
I know. I'm not sure either. I just know it's something that I need to put on paper and share, so that when someone is thinking about, because as we talk about this stuff, and we talk about there being different levels, for me it's like, I can think of some of them, I can't think of all of them, but what was it like, when you were just starting out? You're in a very different place energetically than I am, in terms of feeling energy than I am, for sure, and downloads and all that. Our stuff comes very differently, and we're aware of that, and that's fine. So everybody is coming into this differently, and to be able to know or have some sense of what this means, because even to say, this is a beautiful place to be and it's getting better. Well, what does that mean? What is going to be better? Like, we're going to feel better. That's the one thing that's constant. We're going to feel better, and then we're going to feel better again, and then we're going to feel better again.
I said a few months ago, I did a show, and I said, everything is relative. When I say that I'm at a higher vibration, that's relative to where I was. So when I say that somebody needs to come up in vibration, that's relative to where they're at. When I say somebody needs to come up to where I'm at, that's relative to where I've been. That doesn't mean that I'm better than them or somehow higher than them. It's all relative.
Or that they're in the wrong place.
Right. Yeah, it's all relative. So I have to think that what you're being called to do is almost help people learn to define the levels. We're defining the levels for ourselves, because there is every expression of source through each light being is so unique. There's no one of us that's doing this the same. You're never going to feel energy like I'm feeling it. I'm never going to do it the way you're doing it. No one else. The closest is twin flame, And twins aren't doing it the same because they've had, each twin has had a different experience up to the point that they experience each other, and then they experience each other, and then they go off and do that differently, and they have to figure out how to come together. So, and we see how that's not necessarily happening. Or does happen, and even then is not, so I think it's about, what I'm getting is, it's about teaching people to identify for themselves what each level means, and not comparing themselves to other people, but relative. Yeah. It's relative to themselves.
Yep.
And that way they are looking into the mirror and they're working on themselves. Because if we put it in, if it's put in terms of what level are you at, then people are going to be looking at other people to do it. And it can never be that. It's always, you've got to be looking at the mirror, because you're always improving yourself, because you're always manifesting you, for your life. If we're looking at it at what level am I compared to so-and-so, we're always going to be manifesting off of their energy or manifesting them. So that's what it has to be, is how do you identify each level that you're manifesting for yourself, not relative to where other people are at.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. It's not about anybody else.
Right.
It's about us. And it's also about not judging ourselves for where we are.
Absolutely.
We're not where we are because we've done something wrong, or we're not meditating enough, or whatever it is. We will up level when we're ready to up level, and whatever that is and whatever it looks like will be unique to us. And as we talk about this, it makes a little sense to me to think about even a progressive behavioralist or something, that the more awake we become, the more we tend to get closer to a certain behavioral style, or a certain behavior or a way of thinking, or a way of managing ourselves that becomes easier and becomes more.
It's Dr. Hawkins. It's Dr. Hawkins' scale. Where you're at in your awakening is based upon the density of your energy. And the density of your energy is based upon your energy in motion, or your emotional state of being. And so where are you usually at? Where do you usually feel? What are you feeling? So it's going to be those frequencies. It's going to be those frequencies. What frequency are you in? So it's Dr. Hawkins' scale.
There we go. Okay. Well, look at that.
Yeah. Because it doesn't mean that you're always in the frequency of whatever, but it means overall, when you, how do I feel? Because it's what am I being, feeling, and experiencing? So what do I overall feel? What is the overall feeling of my life? Because that's kind of how the meditation, that's where it went to, is this is what you're supposed to feel. We're supposed to feel unconditional love. We know that's what we're supposed to be in. So where are you at? Until you get to that level, you're not where you're supposed to be. And it's all relative to you and where you're at. So the way you know that, the way we are measuring where we're at for source is, but what are you feeling? What are you feeling and experiencing? Because I want you having the as above, so below experience. If that's not what you're getting, if you're not getting unconditional love, you're not there yet. And that's relative for everyone, but it's still a frequency. It's the frequency that you're in. It is literally, and that's energy in motion. It's going to relate back to Dr. Hawkins' scale. And it's literally going to be your overall emotional state that you're in, because it's about your heart space. What are you letting yourself feel? What are you letting, what good energy, what high vibrational energy are you letting come through the channel to be expressed in your life?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. See, folks, this is what we do. This is what we do all the time.
Dissect. Start again. Dissect. Start again.
This is what we do. And so, and that's what people need to be doing when they look in the mirror, is where am I? Oh, this is what they need to do in the mirror, is what am I feeling? And if it's less than unconditional love, look at Dr. Hawkins' scale. How low am I on it? And well, how do I get up from it? And this goes back to some of the earliest stuff I learned about all of this. When I learned that there was a physicist who had taken and developed a scale, a frequency scale for where we needed to be, and it defined our health, our wellness, our abundance. That, I was like, oh my God, there's science to this woo-woo stuff, and talk about the practicality of it all.
No kidding.
Yeah. So that is what we need to be doing as we're looking in the mirror. That's what we're looking at is I'm here to be, feel, and experience this as above, so below. Where am I at? What am I doing? It's keeping me from being, feeling, and experiencing the most beautiful life. What is it that, when I look in the mirror, we all know the truth about what would really make us happy. We know what we want. Mm-hmm. We don't have to do a long meditation and have some, ball of light come for us to know what you really want is this. We know what we really want.
We totally know. Yep, I agree. We do. Absolutely know.
So what we have to do is look in the mirror and either what are we doing that's keeping it from happening, or if it means manifesting on someone else, well, we can't. So then what am I doing to keep myself from being open for another energy to come in to give me that same feeling? Because the energy that I'm expecting is not coming. Mm-hmm. Because we can't manifest on another job or another person or another. And so we have to open ourselves up for that to come from somewhere else.
Right.
Because we close ourselves off with the expectation.
That's true. So when we're looking in the mirror, we are deciding what it is that is missing from what we know we need. Because you're right, we absolutely know all that stuff. Take a look at that, decide what that is, and then, this is the practical piece, just stop and think about, even journal or whatever, what is it that, how could I get to be closer to those needs? To meeting those needs. How can I be the kind of person that I want to be? Not that anybody expects me to be, but what someone that I want to be. How do I get closer to them, to her, to me? And how do I get there? What are the steps that I take to actually get there?
And those steps are always going to be, what do I need to do to get out of my own way? I mean, it's always going to be something about getting out of your own way.
Absolutely. And it's all focused on us. It's not about
on us, not somebody else.
Totally on us.
It's on us. Yeah. It's and it may be stuff we need to do. It may be what conversation do I need to go have? But you need to have that conversation because you've been in your own way because you haven't gone and had it yet. It may be a class you need to take, but you got to get out of your own way because you haven't gone and taken that class yet. So that's what I mean by getting out of your own way. It doesn't mean you're never doing anything, but it's get out of your own way to, if you know that
Yeah, I mean, we recognize while we're there and we're paying attention, we completely recognize why we're not going after what it is we really need and want. We know that. Oh, well, I don't feel confident enough. I don't think enough of myself. I don't love myself enough, whatever it is. Or fearful, so that's where we're getting in our own way. We're letting all that human stuff come in and say, oh, no, you can't.
Or everyone else around us and what others will think and how it's going to affect others, et cetera, et cetera. And while there is truth to being sensitive to those things, and it's perfectly fine to be sensitive to those things and handle those things in a mature, respectable way, still don't let those things keep you from having the life you're supposed to have, because you are still holding an energetic space that is keeping all those people from being in the space they're supposed to be in.
Right.
And you are not doing them a favor. You're not. You're holding up their lives too, and you're telling yourself that you're doing the right thing and you're not. Yeah. The excuses for not doing it are the very reasons we have to do it. Yeah. And believe me, pot calling kettle black.
True.
Pot calling kettle black.
Yeah, I hear you. Me too.
Yeah. So
It's all part of the experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Again, awesome. That was good. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you again. I mean, that's our conversations are always great, and we always dig into things that, well, usually for me it's stuff that I never think we're going to dig into, and then we do. And it's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Thank you very much to whoever is listening and watching. We really appreciate it, and we really hope that there is a nugget here somewhere for you. And if there is, leave a comment. Love to hear that, to see if we're on the right track, or if there's something a little different than you're looking for in this conscious practical magic discussion place.
Absolutely. Bye, y'all.
Take care.